Hey guys, so editing Gabi here quickly before we get started. Just because this is kind of a heavy video, I do want to put a little bit of a content warning. So all of these will be discussed in the video. So this is Zoe. She wants to say hi.
Hi.
So if you are sensitive about these topics, or you are a close friend or family member that does not want to hear about this, then stay tuned until next week, because then I'll be talking about, how I overcame depression, blah, 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 blah. And what the next steps are then, once you kind of get past that phase of wanting, to die. Stay tuned to next week's video. It's going to be very uplifting. This is also an incredibly positive video. I just wanted to film my genuine reaction and experience, which is why there's a lot of crying. There's a lot of snotting, but they're grateful tears. They're grateful snots. And I'm just so happy that even though things are shit sometimes now, they're never that bad anymore. And I really feel like I can always get through it. And yeah, so I'll be talking about how I got over it next week, but today was just me starting off my channel in a way that's meaningful to me, talking about something that really impacted my life. I wanted to say that there's going to be a little tiny announcement at the end of the video, so do stay tuned, watch through the whole thing, and at the end you'll see the little announcement. So I hope you enjoy the video, and roll footage. So I tried to end my life, and this is really hard to talk about, but I think it's really important that... God, I'm crying already. I have Zoe here for moral support, because it's so hard to get the... Thank you. I dealt with depression for years and years, almost as long as I can remember. And it was a really, really long road to recovery. I have spent more than half my 23 years on this earth suicidal, not just depressed, but wanting to die. And that's really fucking hard to admit. I wanted to start this channel off and set the stage for everything that I want Marshmallows and Toast to be. And what I want it to be is a platform of hope, of positivity, of encouragement, of community, of strength, because those are all of the things that you need to get through depression. And it's something that affects people in different ways, so I'm not going to delve deep into how it manifests for me. You'll get to know that as you get to know me through this channel. But I just want to be open and honest from the beginning. And the biggest reason why I'm doing a complete overhaul on this channel and not just doing generic ass YouTube videos is because I'm finally through to the other side. And that doesn't mean I'm better and that everything is amazing and that my life is perfect. It's not. I am in about 10 grand of debt between student loans and other miscellaneous loans to Zoe. And I'm working part-time because that's all I can do. I'm actually not even at work at the moment because my brain got bad again, so I needed to focus on my mental health instead. So luckily I had enough tax payments, and in Ireland if you have enough tax payments and your doctor authorizes it, you can go on illness benefit if you are recovering from a long-term illness. Because it was at the stage where I couldn't leave the house again. I actually only learned the word agoraphobia, which is the fear of going outside, from my doctor writing that down in a referral for me last year. Basically, Christmas of
2017, the 23rd of December, 2 days before Christmas, I overdosed on painkillers. And I survived. And I then had to go and spend Christmas with my family and not tell them anything. And like, they always knew I was suffering, but I don't think any of them knew it was as bad as it was. And I was also at the stage where, like, I self-harmed as a teenager, and I'd had a few kind of suicide attempts. It was like, kind of like in Fight Club, you know how she was saying, like, it was more of like a cry for help sort of thing. They weren't like serious attempts to end my life, they were just me needing help and not knowing how to get across. But this time I was just done. I felt like I had really hit my rock bottom, but actually my rock bottom was about to be the entire next year. All of 2018 was like the worst depression I'd ever experienced. And I ended up having to move home for a while, and like, I moved out of home when I was 18. I was always a very independent person. I was always the kind of person who was like on top of shit. Like, when I have something, I set my mind to it. And for the longest time, like, I didn't know who I was anymore. Like, I did, but that Gabi was like really, really far away and like almost not real at this stage. I thought that my personality was gloomy. I thought that I was shit to be around. I thought that I was anxious and awkward and that I was weird. And it's only after fucking years of trying to find something that can help me get through it and deal with it. Because like, you'd go on one antidepressant and it would help with some things and make other things worse, and then there'd be side effects. So I thought it was my problem. I thought that it was my fault that I couldn't wake up in the morning, that I literally couldn't wake up through the alarm. Like, I found it was impossible, and I would get stuck in this like sleep awake phase. So like, even up till like last week, I was still dealing with consequences of it. But the difference between 2019 and 2018, where I was so fucking miserable, and I don't even know how I didn't try to die that year, because the entire year was everything I felt on the 23rd of December for the whole year. And I just kept pulling through it because I didn't want to be, even though I felt like nobody cared about me, I felt like I was just a burden on everyone else. I still didn't want to be, that person that traumatizes my sisters. I didn't want my sisters to find me, dead or in hospital, or I didn't want my family, because I saw how much it affected them when my grandfather passed away. I didn't want to do that to any of them, because even though I know that in my anxiety and my depression, it feels like nobody cares about you, and it feels like you're just a burden, and that everyone's just pretending to care about you, or that they're just doing nice things for you out of this obligation. But it's not. It's because they love you. Anything they do for you is a choice. Obligation isn't a thing. Like, when parents take care of their children and they call it an obligation, they can neglect their kids, but they don't, because they love their kids and they want their kids to be happy. So when somebody does something nice for you, they could have absolutely not done that. They could have. Sorry, I'm like snotty and everything, but I mean, look, this is as depressing as this channel is going to be. This is the only video that's going to be like this, I hope. The rest of them are going to be positive, uplifting videos, and this in itself is a positive, uplifting video. But it's weird because I finally found my hope. I finally found something that worked for me. I started on CBD oil and it just turned my life around. And I thought it was going to be some bullshit product like essential oils. And it fucking worked. And from there, for the first time in weeks, I was able to get up and have a shower. I got up, I did the dishes for my family. I was alive again. I wasn't just existing in all this suffering and all this pain. I was alive again. And even now, like every few weeks, like I'll spot something else that I've progressed on. But like I think a big factor is like the way I treat myself has completely changed. And I'm just so compassionate towards myself. And like, I remember last year going, why can't you get out of bed? Why are you still lying down here feeling depressed? You absolute piece of shit. You should just kill yourself. And like, it was just this horrible cycle. And now I'll have a day where I don't do anything. And I'm like, it's okay. It's just a bad day. Why don't you have a glass of water? Or make a hot chocolate and... Because I'm kind to myself now, because I'm cutting myself some slack, because I'm treating myself the way I would... Sorry, I'm like disgusting. Because I'm treating myself the way I would treat my friend, I am so much kinder to myself. And Zoe has been an amazing help. Like, even before you moved over, but like when you moved over, it was amazing, and I've loved living with you, and it's been so nice. But yeah, I'm so grateful that I'm alive today, and I just want this channel to be for anyone who's struggling to even just exist, or to anyone who feels a bit lost in life and they don't know what to do, or they might maybe, like me, you're through the worst part of it, but you're still dealing with symptoms of depression or side effects on a daily basis, and it does impact your ability to work and function, but because you're not suicidal, there's not as much support for you. And I want this channel to be able to create a community, and to create at least the kind of steps to be able to get you to get the help or to get to the next level that you need. Like, I just want people to be happy. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care, like none of that material shit matters when you're happy with your life. And it's very easy to get caught up in like salaries and college debt and all that kind of stuff, especially nowadays where it's almost like you're like, oh well, I guess that's just adulthood now, like student debt and a shit job that I hate. And that's not the way it is. I have so many ideas for how to make the world a better place, like anything from just creating arts programs for kids and even adults, because there's so little creative classes for adults. They're either for advanced people, or like there's like nothing for beginner adults and things. All the way up to like fucking making it so that people can actually buy a home and have a home that's theirs. You know, I just want people to be able to feel at ease and to just know that at the very least, even if everything goes wrong, they have a place to live. And obviously to do that you need a lot of money, which means that I have been learning a lot about business and investments and all of that kind of stuff, because I really want with my money to be able to invest that into things that can help people and not just be like those fucking capitalists that just take all of your fucking money. So unfortunately, to beat the game, you have to join it, and I know I won't have the money to join it, and I won't be a part of anything like that for like years, like, and that's okay, and I can just focus on even just getting my own finances together first and sharing what I learn about that with you for now, and hopefully in my lifetime I'll be able to do those things to help kind of people in the bigger picture. But for now, what I can offer is my own life lessons. What I can offer is any skills that I've learned, any tricks and tips, any resources that I found that are fantastic, anybody that I can recommend, or brands that are actually good and ethical, well, as ethical as possible. But that's a debate for another time. Even if it feels like there's no end and there's no guarantee that you'll get to a better place, your guarantee is how much effort you put in. And I know that kind of sounds like a sellout, but I could have given up last year and I didn't. And I kept trying. And it's just that hope that you need. And I lost myself along the way. I was so anxious all the time. I was panicked. I couldn't talk to people. And now, like, for example, I was at Summer in the City last year, and we just finished Summer in the City this year. And last year, I was so anxious I could barely talk to anyone. I was dissociating for like months on end, where I was just in this foggy haze. Everything was so weird. Like, I was smoking, I was drinking, like, it just wasn't me, you know? And now that I'm through it, now that I'm through the majority, I don't get suicidal or self-harming feelings anymore, because I've taught myself not to, because I couldn't afford CBT and the free therapists available to me were shit. So I took it upon myself to learn CBT. And that's made a fucking world of difference. I actually didn't realize I taught myself CBT until I was like, shit, I'm talking like the person who suggested CBT to me does. Fuck, maybe I did teach myself that. So yeah, that's been so wonderful. And it's not like I don't have problems. I have loads of problems. But it's not about where you're at or what's happening in your life, because there are people who have so much shit going on that are depressed. But there's also people who are rich, financially stable, like, have a good job. In reality, they have a good life on paper, but they're still miserable. And I think part of that is, I know, okay, we live in a society, but part of that is that there is a big disconnect nowadays. People just don't value, like, in-person interactions, and everything feels like it has to be documented. And that's kind of why I just stopped using social media this year. I just prioritized my health and my mental health. And do you know what? That's why I want to let you guys know as well that over the next year, now that I'm through the suicidal part of things and the self-harm part of things, and that I'm treating myself kindly, now I wanna challenge myself for the next year to get to a place where I'm happy. So hopefully this time next year I'll do better. There'll be a video up next week about this and exactly how I'm going to change my life, and kind of a bit of a blueprint for how you can change yours if you would like to join on this, like, journey with me and just take a year to focus on your health and your happiness, because that's what matters more than anything else. Because I do want to get to a stage where I'm able to work full time, where I can manage my fatigue, and I know that there's a lot of things that I can do in terms of exercise and food to fix that. But then I also have issues. For example, my back is quite bad. I get really bad, like, sciatic pains up and down, shooting up and down, like, my butt and legs, when I walk for too long, when I sleep weird, when I lie on my back or lie on my stomach, and, like, it's not fucking fun. And then on top of that, I'm, like, hyper flexible, which is why I can bend my elbow backwards. You probably can't see it that much, but yeah. So sometimes I do that when I'm walking with my knee, and it just kind of, and it hurts. So I find it really hard to exercise, and I just want to get to a place where I have my back issues sorted and I can exercise again. I just have a lot of kind of niggling health issues that I really want to tackle, and some of them I have already tackled this year. Like, I went to the dentist for the first time in 12 years, and I made it to 23 with only 2 cavities, so that's a victory in my books. I also went from being fucking suicidal to going back to work part-time, which is amazing, and now that I'm struggling a bit with that, and that I spoke to my doctor, and I'm taking the time to take care of myself again, and to just make my health my full-time job, and know that because of the illness benefit I have my bases covered, which is amazing. It's really allowing me to make so much progress, and it's just nice to find myself again. Like, I'm a really optimistic person. I'm actually a very happy person. I am always trying to find the silver linings. I'm always, like, supportive of my friends. Like, I always think of my friends, or even Zoe or my family, before I think of myself. Like, I just want to help people. And I thought that I was a shit person, because I felt like the depression was who I am, because it was who I was for so long, and it took away the parts of me that I like about myself, and it took away the parts of me that make me who I am. Like, it was at the stage where music was always my escape from all of my issues, and I wasn't playing music. And now I'm so inspired. I have so many ideas for things, and I'm constantly jotting ideas down, and I'll have like little songs and stuff like written out, and I'm always just like sending you, being like, hey, I wrote this lyric, or hey, I wrote this little poem. And for the first time in my life, I'm inspired to write songs that aren't just, I hate my life, I am depressed, everything sucks. Sorry, I'm so fucking snotty, but look, you know what? It's okay, you're seeing me completely honest. So that's what I want from this channel. I want to help you, and I also want to use it to motivate myself to continue growing and to continue improving, so that next year I'm an even better version of myself. And I just want people to wake up, and no matter how they look, no matter where they are in life, to just know that you exist, and simply because you exist, you are enough. You know, you are not your weight, or your salary, or your job, or your fucking house size, or your rent, or your debt. You are not any of those numbers that society loves to define us under. You are you. You are the words you say to the people around you. You are the things you do for other people. You are the way you treat yourself as well. And you are also the things that interest you, whether that's music or TV or even just Netflix and chill. Like, whatever you enjoy is who you are. And sometimes you can lose that, and it'll take you some time to find who you are again. But you will get there. And if this video spoke to you at all, please consider subscribing. Not for me, not for my benefit. I don't care how many subscribers I have. But I want you to be happy. And I want you to do well. And I'm living proof that you can get through it. And even though I've gotten through the suicidal part of it and the self-harm part of it, I'm still struggling with depression. But now that I've found something that works for me, I can work from there and slowly creep myself up. And so I'm right here with you. I'm proof that you can get through it, but I'm also proof of the work in progress, because I think there's a lot of people who are like, oh, hey, like, I'm back, I'm recovered. I I think recovery is a lie. I don't think recovery ever ends. Recovery is the rest of your life. And this new phase of my life, this is still the beginning of my recovery. And I can't wait to see in 5 or 10 years' time where I'll be. But for now, just please stay here. If not for the people around you, and if not for yourself, for me. And let's work through this together. I'm not a mental health professional, just saying I'm just somebody who's experienced it, and I just want to share my experiences and any knowledge or things that I've learned to help you. And I hope that you can share that with me as well. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope it had a much more positive end than you were expecting, because it's not meant to be a sad video. It's a really fucking good video. I'm alive today, and that's fucking amazing, and I can't believe it. And the odds were stacked against me, and I still pulled through. And there's no reason anyone else can't. You can. And it takes time, and it takes trial and error. And one of the biggest things that helped me out is one of my aunts said to me, she was like, you know that this is like the shit part of your life, right? This isn't like how it's going to be forever. This is like the worst of it. And then you'll get through, and then it will get better. And that really kind of helped put it in perspective. So I like to think that if my life is a movie, this is the part at the start where the protagonist is working through the difficult stuff to overcome it, to then achieve greatness. And greatness doesn't have to be written in history books. Greatness could just be you living a life that fulfills you and makes you happy. It doesn't have to be anything like, you don't have to be an actress, you don't have to change the world. You're allowed to just exist. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you in some way, and hopefully I'll see you next week. And either way, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic week. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you, Zoe, for being my moral support. I was not able for that. Just having her next to me just makes my life so much easier. Like, you're so nice. I love you. I'd ask you for a kiss, but I'm gross. Yeah, you're not. Don't worry.
It's enough that you're touching me with your snotty hands.
They're dry now. See, I laugh so much now. Oh, man. My life is great. Like, everything is shit, but my life is great, and I'm happy.
Hey guys, so I forgot to film it on the day, which is why I'm filming it now, like post-editing announcement. Actually, I've just started editing now, and it's 9 PM on the day that I said my video would be uploaded, but we'll get there. Excuse me.
My hair looks nice.
Looking so cute.
No.
Love you.
Oh, me too.
She was saying that while she was looking at her own reflection.
I did, actually.
Yeah.
I actually look really cute.
You do. She's feeling herself. It's really nice to see. So, at the end of all my videos, I wanted to start this segment called Baby Steps, because I think it's really, really important that we acknowledge the... This is why I edit. That we acknowledge all of the small steps we take to making our life better. And I think it's very easy to want to make like a huge life change and to take some big dramatic changes. And I'll be talking more about that in next week's video, all as part of like the overcoming depression recovery phase. Jingle jangle.
Jingle jingle.
It's a pretty bracelet. I got it from a craft fair.
I got it for you.
We went halfsies on it because it was like really expensive, but I had to have it. At the end of each of my Monday videos, I'm going to be doing a little baby step section where we pick like a small step to move on. And sometimes that'll be, you know, like running an extra mile for some people, and for others, it could be just remembering to brush your teeth every day. So with that, I thought it would be interesting to have Zoe pick out my first baby step, because usually I pick them out, but what's been bothering you about me most recently?
Go out of the house more.
So the baby step for this week is to leave the house every day, which is going to be a challenge. I left the house today to bring out the trash and to go to the shop. Tomorrow I have to leave the house to go see my family and get my prescription and go to the doctors and blah 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 blah. So I'll have to leave the house all the other days. And I would also like to know from you, what's your baby step for the week?
I don't know. You tell me.
I tell you. You're meant to pick your own. Okay. My baby step for you...
But it is. Tell me and I'll tell you.
To do all of my laundry.
No. Fuck off.
I know. Your baby step is to write your fucking novel.
I knew it. I knew that was what you were going to say.
We have a thing where, like, I'm doing big changes over the next year, you'll see next week. And Zoe also wants to do a little bit of a challenge, because now that we're in our 20s, we have the power to just do whatever we want. We just need to do it. And Zoe always wanted to write books. So, that's your goal for the year.
Look at half the
Get on
basic
that for the first
plot.
week. That's great, but start writing half a page every day. That's
I
what. That's
swear
your
to
baby
God,
step.
if someone steals them, I thought of it first.
That's fair. So next week, we will check in, tell you how our baby steps went, let us know how yours go, and we can pick another one. And if you didn't succeed your goal exactly the way you wanted to this week, that's okay. You can always take the same baby step the next week. It's less about doing it every single day on the dot and being perfect, and more about doing it most of the time. And that's fine. It's all about the shades of grey in between, all 50 of them, rather than the black and white. You didn't fail. You did more than what you would have done otherwise. So anyway, I hope you have a great day. Make sure to check out our social media. Things will be getting settled over the next few months as I rediscover it. Thank you for watching. Do you want to tell them to press all the buttons?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe,
Mm-hmm.
and press the notification bell.
There we go.
There are no more buttons.
Like, subscribe, press the notification bell, follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. Follow her on Tumblr, follow my blog, sign up to my newsletter.
If not, there's no point.
It's shit, and Katie McGrath's ugly, but you know, she's into what she's into. I say that to annoy her and it always works. That's the face of a woman who's gonna kill me later. Bye.